So I think we've seen that big deer on the cameras. We have a friend of ours hunts out here, and his son names all of the deer that we find on the deer cameras. So if I remember right, this deer he calls Jimmy. And I think Jimmy is going to be my deer this year. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera so you guys can see. Okay, I'm walking up. So here's my foot next to those hoof prints. That's a big deer. Come on, baby, come to mom. I'm gonna walk up on him slow. Got our turkeys up here. Quite a few of them. They had a lot of babies this year. Oh, and they're gone. Ah, mosquitoes. I need my off. Our mosquitoes are as big as velociraptors around here. Okay. All right, now I am out at our deer haven is what we call it. It's where we hunt. We actually have it set up, it's almost like a park. We have a nice little stock pond out here. So originally what this was a cattle run. When we first bought the farm, my father-in-law, so my husband's dad, used this for cattle. And so we've got the nice stock pond here, which we have a little bit of an algae issue we've been trying to solve. And so we got our stock pond, and then we actually have it mowed, as you can see. Like I said, it's almost like a park. And then we put a bunch of apple trees out here too. We figured that would help bring in the deer. And also I have my bees out here. So we will talk about that another day. So anyway, we have our apple trees. So I'm going to turn so you can see. And you see that white thing over there? Dave actually was working to put in a well because he was thinking if we could run some water into the stock pond and aerate it a little bit, that might help with the algae issue. So, boy, this is so hot. I gotta quit doing that. Go ahead and turn. Here is our deer haven. And we have our feeder right there. And we put corn in that, and it's a spinner that turns on and flings out corn. I don't know, it's like once every hour, once every two. It scares the crap out of me when I'm out here. It's pretty aggressive. It'll whack you in the head if you're not paying attention. And it's kind of loud. So be careful of this scary tripod. And then we have, like I said, our wellhead. Dave dug that. It was this last weekend with limited results. He was able to get the sand point down. I think it was about 12 feet. It's not quite deep enough to keep a consistent run of water. But what it will do is he's going to get a timer on it. So it'll run it maybe once every, for 25 minutes on and then be off for a couple hours. So this cool thing is the solar panel he put up to provide power to everything we have out here. So he's got two panels, and I'm going to go ahead and walk over there so I can show it to you. So he has the two panels up there, and then he has our cool box. And he's got these toggle switches on it. So they're kind of they're a two-way switch. So this one is the pump, so we can turn on the pump over there. And he's got a fountain that he wants to try to hook up out there. It's not quite hooked up yet. And then this is the hunting blind battery. So we have a battery up in the hunting blind, and that runs the cameras that we have in the hunting blind, as well as like the phone chargers and stuff. And then this one's empty. We could use it for other stuff. You can see we've got 92% power. He must actually have the pump on. So we should go check that out. But got it coming into this battery here. And so pretty slick. My MacGyver comes up with all sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, so there is our power. All right, so let's go up to the blind. Mosquitoes are getting me. Oh my gosh, they're so horrible. One of the things I hate about North Dakota. So, all right. So here is our blind. It's a redneck blind, which we really like. We actually have some extra padding on the inside of it to keep it a little warmer. Because it's pretty cold here during hunting season. Oh, I'll go up another step. So it can get to be pretty dang cold. Oh, somebody found a shed and threw it in here. Cool. All right. So, here is our hunting blind. Ooh, it is very echoey in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn you guys around. All right, so you can see my view. I can see out here right by the feeder. I'm gonna open up the door and see if it's less echoey. A little better. And I can see out here across this field, there's quite a bit of them that come out of that field there. This corn will be gone by then. So yeah, we got a really nice view out there. And then all of our stuff. There's our battery that powers everything in here. We got phone chargers. Only Samsung, no Apple chargers. Sorry folks, gotta bring your own. Got our heaters and some binoculars, an extra propane tank for the heaters. So this is a great blind. I absolutely love it. See, somebody found a shed down here and threw it in here. Just gotta find a second one to call some bucks in. So last year I opened this window and I had a really nice little buck walk right out onto the ice for me. So that was a really, really easy shot. It was not very far. So, all right. I'll go ahead and go back down now. So much less echoey. So see from here, got the haven, the apple trees, and the stock pond. Got a game camera right there on that tree. I'm actually going to go switch out the cards. So this is our newer game camera that we just got just like last week, I think. The other one we had, we really liked it, but at night it did not have the best night vision capability. So we wanted to get something that was a little bit better. I just dropped one of my memory cards. Come on. You're not very easy to get out, are you? Okay. Help me find it. There it is. Alright. Go back in. Not focusing. Focus. Alright. Close her back up. All you gotta do is take the card out, put it back in, call it good. Okay. Excellent. Let's go find the other. All right. Okay, so the other one is over here on the back side of the stock pond. We got a lot of deer traffic back on this side. So we've got the older one back here. I think we're going to be replacing this one though, because definitely doesn't get as good of night vision. Daytime it seems to be pretty good though. Let's see. There's no card in it. Oh yeah, there is. Okay. Go there. There we go. Lock her back up. And I need to go get my off. And then I'll take you guys over to the tree stand. My favorite thing about hunting is being out here and just looking at the wildlife. And when you're sitting really, really quiet, you have a lot of things that you see that you would never normally see. I know that that's one of the things I actually don't like about the blind, because when you're just sitting out under a tree or something like that, you get deer that walk right past you, you get squirrels that run right over your leg, or birds that don't even realize that you're there, and it's kind of amazing. So it's something that I don't always sit in the blind, especially if it's a little nicer. I do like to just sit out under a tree. There's a couple of little pine trees back in here. And then I thought of it because right in here, even when the leaves are gone, this is a nice little spot. And then see behind me, there's this whole area where they bed down in. So it's this whole area, we've kind of, that's why we call it the deer haven. We feed them and we have a nice area for them. And when I'll show you after a little bit the deer that we actually have out here. Here, I will move myself up to this side. Let's see how smart I am. And I'll put a little inset right here. Right there. Gotta be smarter than a camera. Right there. Put an inset so you guys can see the cards that I have in my pocket. I will go ahead and drop some of those images in so you can see. I'm guessing you're going to be seeing the mommy and the baby. It's a doe and a little fawn, a very small fawn, very late. We actually had to take it out of the stock pond area here just a little bit ago. It had died for some reason overnight. We saw it sitting there right by the stock pond yesterday, and it was just sitting there. It didn't move, and so we weren't sure what was up with it, but this morning we found it dead, and so we went ahead and carried it away. So anyway, we'll probably still see that doe. And then there's Jimmy, the buck. He's a nice 5x5. He's got a nice big rack. And then there's two smaller bucks that you might be seeing. Gotta keep my head off to the side so I have an inset spot. That there's two smaller bucks that we've been seeing quite a bit of. They're like a little 3x3. And then there's one, I don't know his name, but he just has one antler. Last year he had one antler growing straight down and then one growing normal. And it looks like this year he actually only has one antler at all. So haven't seen him more than once or twice. So, okay. Oh, and then the other thing that I should throw up here is our InnoPro camera. So those cameras that we have up on the blind, actually when I walk back, I'll go ahead and give you guys a close-up. The InnoPro cameras are what we make at our company. They're one of the cameras that we manufacture. And they are a ruggedized IP camera, but they require very low voltage. So we have them hooked up with the solar panel and the battery, and with a high intensity wireless transmitter, and we just router it back to the house. So, okay, this blind actually looks really cool because it's got grapes crawling all over it. You almost can't even see this blind. It is so well camouflaged. But yeah, so this one is nice bow hunting blind. The grapevines hide it really, really nicely. So even when they're dead, you got some nice woody stuff around you. And so this one's really nice. I'll kind of get over here a little bit. So, oh, we actually have some grapes up here. So when you climb up here, you have this really nice area that the deer come out of. The river is just over those sand hills. So there's a lot of traffic right along these trees. Go ahead and walk back here. All right, and so the last thing I'll show you guys is the InnoPro cameras that are up on the deer stand, just so you guys can see what they look like. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to the deer stand. I only rifle hunt at this point. I would love to learn how to bow hunt. I actually have a really nice bow, but I've always been kind of afraid to bow hunt because I'm not a very good shot with it, and I would hate to wound an animal, and there's a lot of tracking involved, and I know I wouldn't give up till I found it, and it would make me sad if I couldn't. So that's where I do like rifle hunting. I should get a black powder because you can hunt with that during that that similar time, but it does limit me to a colder time frame. In North Dakota, rifle hunting season is usually incredibly cold. There's usually snow on the ground, and we are limited to very few tags. All of our land that we own is in just my husband's name, and so we only get one gratis tag, and I stole it this year. So I have the tag this year, and getting tired walking. So I have the tag this year, and it's a rifle tag. And when you get a gratis tag, it's any. So it's antlered or antlerless. Someday we've been talking about maybe getting a place down where it's a little bit warmer, you know, Tennessee, Carolinas, Kentucky, somewhere like that. And they have very different limits on deer. Here we just don't have as many. We're in the prairies, and we also have some of that basically mad deer disease. It's I forget what they call it, a wasting disease, chronic wasting disease. And so they really like you to turn in the heads when you get deer, so they can test the brain matter to see if they have that disease. It's mostly in western North Dakota. We don't have a lot of it over here, but we are in hunting area in North Dakota. 2G2 is what our area is called. All right, so up on our blind, those are our InnoPro cameras up there. So they're pretty small, just about the size of a coffee cup or so. Dave just came with the Hunt V. He's going to take me back because the mosquitoes are horrible and they're going to eat me alive. Our Hunt V is very quiet. It's an electric one. Oh, I can't see the water. Don't get us stuck. Oh, there. It's coming. Come on, baby. This grasshopper is going for a ride with us. He's hanging in there, isn't he? Huh. All right, he's